Someone leave a cage open at Turtleback Zoo?
Meet Richie Aprile.
Jesus Christ, how you doing?
My name is Richie Aprile. I've known the Soprano family for many years. In fact, I dated Janice Soprano back in high school.
Don't you remember me? You used to yell at me for beeping my car horn when I came over to pick up Janice.
Pimp's beep.
And then again, 20 years later. You know how that went.
And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're gonna have a problem. A bad one.
A bad problem, huh? They had a bad problem, all right, when Tony and my kid brother Jackie stuck up Feech La Manna's card game. If I hadn't stepped in to settle that tension, like I said, Tony and Jackie would have gotten a bad beating, to say the least.
Feech was made before the electric light. If it wasn't for me, you two kids would have caught a vicious beating, to say the least.
You're like my big brother, okay? You're gonna be taken care of. What was yours before you went away will be yours again. Just gotta give it some time.
What's mine is not yours to give me.
So it goes without saying that I didn't appreciate Tony's bullshit this time around.
I'll make him breakfast. You want some eggs?
Don't want some eggs.
When Tony flipped out after seeing me over at their Ma's place with Janice, it made me even angrier. I tried to turn down the temperature then too. I even offered to make him some breakfast, eggs and coffee. But no, not good enough for Tony. He'd rather insult his sister and me instead. I had to stand up for the both of us when he kept going on and on and on. He just wouldn't stop.
Crossed the line on me once, Anthony, and I held my tongue. She may be your sister, but back the fuck off. You know, all due respect.
Respect?
It wasn't long after that until Tony spit on me again. This time, it was when that piece of shit Davey had the nerve to be into me for 8 large and then show his face at another card game before giving me any more of my money.
Oh, Johnny Sack! They must have free tokens at the tunnel.
Tony had this whole holier-than-thou attitude. I don't care who you are, civilian or no civilian. Don't disrespect me like that and expect to get away with it. Same goes for guys like Beansy Gaeta. People ask me why I went so crazy over Beansy Gaeta not agreeing to give me any of his earnings from the pizza place. On its face, it may look like he's right. Beansy started that place. He built it up to where it is today, right? Sure, except it was money Beansy earned because I gave him a chance and put him in action. If it weren't for me, there wouldn't have been that money to open it in the first place. I could have screwed over a lot of people, but I was old school and played by the rules. If only the other guys had followed those rules too.
Don't do this.
Don't do what? Take what's owed to me.
What's owed to you?
I put you in action, Beansy. You got a bad memory, Beansy.
Instead of getting what I was owed, Tony made me go get my guys to build Beansy a wheelchair-accessible ramp at his house to help him. He could have helped himself even more by not refusing to give me what I was owed. I put him in action and went to prison for 10 years, stayed loyal and never uttered a word about family business, and that's what I got in return? It wasn't just me who thought this. Look at Janice. She was the one who kept telling me I needed to stop eating shit from Tony. And that what he gave me was peanuts.
Imagine getting a facelift. 1 week later, you're in jail.
Can you imagine that? You get a facelift and 1 week later you're in jail?
Now that's a sad commentary. Tony put me back in action. He gave me 50 G's to put out on the street. What is that? Nothing?
Please. You're his responsibility. He didn't do you any favor.
I gotta be loyal. Without that, we crumble.
Tell that to Paul Castellano.
So, like I said, I wasn't getting much money from Tony. None from Beansy or anyone else. And Dick Barone was still fucking me on those garbage routes. So yeah, I added a little side business to up my cash flow. And then Tony gives me shit for that too.
After 5 years, the cops are finally leaving garbage alone. A drug bust on one of those routes, it's a different story. It stops today. You got it?
Did he want me to just work as a fucking pizza boy for the rest of my life? Maybe if I did a really good job, Beansy could promote me to be assistant fucking manager.
Huh? Perfect. You look like Robert Evans over here.
And the jacket. Talk about someone spitting on me. I was trying to do the right thing and extend an olive branch. And as I'm sipping my coffee with Carmela, I see the maid's husband walk through the kitchen wearing that jacket I had just given to Tony. I really had to muster all my strength not to throw that cup of coffee into the nearest TV set. How about you take home that TV, asshole? And that idiot kid told me he'd shot Christopher as a favor to me. You can't even imagine how frustrated I was. Just what I needed. Tony Soprano thinking I put a hit out on his nephew.
Yeah, you called yesterday to complain? No, that's our policy. It's written on our trucks. Double your garbage back if you're not satisfied. Badger asked you, if you're not satisfied, did you want your garbage back?
Of course I don't want garbage back!
Then you're satisfied. Coolers are like scissors. Everybody wants one. Nobody has a fucking idea how much they cost.
Sometimes I wonder if Tony and Janice planned things that night I was killed. I don't know. It just seems like an awful coincidence that I approached the subject with Junior and Larry, and a couple nights later, Janice Soprano goes wild and shoots me.
Then I find out you're still dealing blow on those garbage routes.
For that, I'm losing a bid.
Next time you'll find yourself in the back of one of your trucks.
Let me tell you who's not a good kid. That niece of mine.
As for me, allegedly I was buried on a hill overlooking a little river with pine cones.
Richie Aprile's in the Bermuda Triangle.
I will say this. Christopher was right about not eating at Satriali's for a long time after that visit.
Just make sure they don't have air in your veins. If you think that's just bullshit.
What do you mean?
This is a good hospital, sweetheart. Nothing like that's gonna happen here.
I was sad to hear that my younger brother Jackie died of cancer while I was still locked up. We didn't have the closest relationship, but I respected my younger brother. I thought he respected me. I wish he would have visited or written a little more. They tell you that loyalty is rewarded, but I'm still waiting for my reward. Has anyone seen it?
Veal Parmesan sandwich. Fuck you.
You sure you're gonna be all right, Uncle Rich?
Keep your hands in your pockets. Next time you won't see my face. You understand?
And you better pay me the respect that I gave your brother, or we're gonna have a problem. You go home, Richie.
Hello, Mrs. Thank you for TV.
Oh, Stasha, please, enjoy.
That niece of mine. A word to the wise, that's all I'm saying.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Make a move against Tony Soprano. No way.
I'm better off with Tony.
My kid hit me up for $5,000 today to go to England for these dance contests.
But just because he's a ballroom dancer, you think your son is gay? And what if he was gay? What difference does it make?
Next time you won't see my face.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this latest video. What'd you think? Let me know.